Yesterday, we achieved a total reset with China. After productive talks in Geneva, we made a great deal with China, a great trade deal.
The world's two largest economies have taken a step towards trade peace. The United States and China have agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed on each other and call a 90-day truce as they continue negotiations to reach a deal. The CBC's Aaron Collins joins me now from Washington. Aaron, it's difficult to keep up with U.S. trade policy and tariff policy. So what exactly did the U.S. and China agree to, and why did they agree to it now?
Yeah, I think the president might have been getting ahead of himself a little bit there, too. I'm not sure this is a deal. If we keep it in the context, you're right, of this being a trade war between the planet's two largest economies, this is a truce, right? This is a truce with maybe an eye towards proper peace. Both sides have agreed to, dramatically reduce the tariffs they've imposed on each other for 90 days while they try to get to a proper deal, the one the president's, I guess, already announcing. So I think as far as the second part of that question, the reason for this now is I think both sides need a deal here, right? These tariffs, they're devastating to Chinese exports. We're already seeing year-over-year declines of like 20% for exports into the U.S. from China. But they're also really hard on U.S. consumers and small businesses. They're all dealing with rising prices, right? So it's a really dramatic shift in tone in this trade dispute from both sides.
The consensus from both delegations this weekend is neither side wants a decoupling. And what had occurred with these very high tariffs, as Ambassador Greer said, was the equivalent of an embargo, and neither side wants that. We do want trade. We want more balanced trade. And I think that both sides are committed to achieving that.
So to my ears, David, I think you can really hear in that clip, a consensus that this trade war needs to wind down for the sake of both countries' economies.
Yeah, when container ships are coming back with empty containers from China and there's no inputs to go into American factories, you may have gone a bit too far. So that's the latest on trade. The president is also off to the Middle East. So what's on the agenda there?
Yeah, you mentioned hard to keep up, and it is hard to keep up. But yeah, this is a 4-day trip to the Middle East. It's the president's first major trip abroad in this second term. We know he's hoping to make some economic deals with Gulf countries. We also know he's going to be wading into two of the biggest conflicts on the planet. So the U.S. secured the release of the last American hostage being held by Hamas today, a deal that it largely left Israel out of the equation, a country the president's notably going to skip on this trip, despite Trump really pushing for peace in that conflict. And that's not the only peace process underway in the region. Ukraine and Russia are set to meet in Turkey on Thursday. And the president, he hinted today that he may, pop by. Not sure if he's actually going to do that, but he sort of floated that idea. So it's a really busy few days for the president.
We'll be heading there, and we'll be seeing 3 primary countries. You know all about that: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar. On Thursday's meeting with Russia and Ukraine is very important. I was very insistent that meeting take place. I think good things can come out of that meeting.
David, one final note, I should say, the president's trip to the Middle East already coming under scrutiny for a gift that apparently was to be given by Qatar, that country reportedly offering to give the president a luxury jet with $400 million to be used as I guess, the new Air Force One. Trump blasting critics of the gift as world-class idiots.
All right, there you go. Foreign country just allowed to give the president a plane, apparently, in his view. Aaron, thank you so much. That's the CBC's Aaron Collins in Washington.